Participate in a conversation with once conservative, now liberal Midwest mastered prepared special education high school teacher and a self-proclaimed devil's advocate, East Coast conservative liberal, baccalaureate prepared registered nurse. These two strangers met, became instant friends, and realized their conversations are candid and epic. So join us weekly, ask us questions, and listen to these profoundly candid friends try to solve the world's problems, one discussion at a time.
Hey. Welcome to another awesome episode of The New Theory with Monet and Jared, aka TNT with MJ. I am Jared.
I'm Monet.
And together we are teaching minds
and nurturing souls.
And Monet, as usual, it's awesome to see you again. Love our conversations and our little get-togethers that we have. Mm-hmm. Me too. It's my therapy for the week.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I've posted that. Now I'm publicly stating it. This is my therapy for the week. Because I can, be myself anyway, or be more myself. I don't want to suggest anything with Cedar. I can be myself with Cedar at any time.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a different. Yes, yeah. This is more of a, what is it? Outlook that we're able to express. It's a different vehicle for both of us, right? For sure. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because colleagues, we have colleagues that we can speak with. We have other professionals those are our colleagues. We have family members, but having these different perspectives and just vibing on the level that we vibe on, it is our own personal therapy that we're sharing with the world.
Yeah, there you go. So that being said,
exactly, and careers.
Yeah, no doubt. Because we are in the service field.
Yeah, both of us.
We're both in the service field, but I don't want to say paradigms, but whatever. Yeah. So we were just getting into a night potentially not heated, but really interesting conversation. So we wanted to stop for our conversation and record. That being said, we were talking. Remind us what we were talking about. Remind
now
me, we can tell them.
Yeah, and in our current life, and something that is so insane to talk about social media. We come from an era where, the TV died after midnight. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And here we are, and we're able to do what we're doing right now. Not only are we having a conversation, we're doing what the Jetsons did. We're talking face to face.
I know, right? That's crazy.
And with all this ability to reach out and connect with one another, one huge vehicle in all of our lives has become social media. We use the platform for our podcast. We use it to communicate, to garner business, to reconnect with loved ones. And, we've touched on this because our platforms are so robust. Okay.
Yeah.
Our Black Lives Matter and gay privileges, and things, just the whole gambit of socially constructive. We talk about the 6 things that you're never supposed to talk about: religion, sex, race, and all this, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
All those other things. This is our platform for it. And with that, we do get a lot of our information from social media.
Yeah.
Mainly one of which is Facebook. And we were talking, and Jared, you mentioned you had, placed a meme. No. We talked about the one thing I posted, and I deleted it because I was like, there was no point in deleting it because I misunderstood what the whole platform, what they were discussing. I thought it was about getting vaccinations. And because this particular topic can branch off into the other 2 we were discussing. But I say this to say, I deleted it, and Jared said, why? And I said, well, because I don't have those friends on Facebook anymore. Those those people that would have been there for the conversation, would have been there to no, I support not getting vaccinated. I said, because those kind of people also happen to be in the, All Lives Matter group and this, that, and the other. And even if I still have friends that believe in the All Lives Matter group, they know not to throw that energy my way. And you said, I just recently unfriended people. And what were you saying?
Oh no, so this is someone that I unfriended on Facebook. It was because of I mean, not because of, but then again, what you post reflects your attitudes, reflects your beliefs, right? So she posted this meme that I think at the was I want to say it was comparing Trump and Biden, but Biden was the idiot.
Yeah.
You know, or something to that effect. And it was just completely nonsensical. In my mind. And I'm like, this doesn't jive. I don't understand. You know, you got a couple of different messages going on here, you know, and if whatever.
If I'm not mistaken, it's kind of narrow-minded and lost.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a good description. And so I posted on there, you know, this is the line. I'm done. It's been fun. That's what I said. It's been fun. My line of communication is always open though. And I unfriended her. I didn't block her, but I unfriended her. Completely forgot that she had my phone number, that she still had my phone number. Mind you, this is the person. Yeah, this is the person that I actually used to work with before I went into education. So like 10 plus years ago, easy.
Wow. That's a good long time.
She actually specified 2008. So it's 2021, what?
13 years?
13 years? Yeah. Shit. That just hit me. That's as long as Cedar and I have been married.
Dun, dun, dun.
No correlation. No. No relation whatsoever.
Just happened.
It's just coincidence. Absolute coincidence. That being said, yeah, so she texted me and she said, "Oh, so you unfriended me for a meme? I was expecting more of you. Just wow. I thought our friendship meant more than that." Right? To which I just simply respond, "I'm sorry that you equate a Facebook friendship with actual friendship."
God damn.
And so I don't want to speculate on the time, but it felt like it took her a little bit to respond. But she finally responded something to the effect of, "I don't. I've considered you a friend since we worked together from 2008. Back in 2008." Because at the time I was actually her direct supervisor. And sorry, I keep doing this for those that are watching the video. My earbuds keep coming loose, and so I'm just trying to in my ears. I'm sure that can be distracting. That being said, so I told her, no, and she said, "Have a blessed day." I'm like, okay, cool. Same here. Consider your friends. Told you my line of communication is open. Though I was expecting Facebook Messenger and not actual direct text message.
Jared, and there comes a go ahead. I'm sorry, but I just want to.
No. It's all good. And then I just simply said, same here, and hope the same for you. Just left it at that.
I mean, people have to understand the energy that comes with people that are holding on to things that are titillating inside, like funny, knee jerk, like, I'm poking at you. And they don't realize that that's can you hear mechanism? That? Yeah, well, that's harboring, that's holding on to some antiquated ideologies instead of, and it's holding on to a very, I don't want to say primitive, but preschool, adolescent, and we're adults mindset, where it's like, but it can be funny. Yeah, but we are not adolescents anymore. And the things I did as an adolescent, I'm definitely not doing as an adult. So I don't want to carry on that. There's things that are funny, that are genuinely funny, and let's talk about them. That's why we have comedians. Our life's, communications we have with our kids, that shit can be really hilarious. Same thing with coworkers, having those brain fog moments where you do something, you're like, God, why did I put the trash bags in the refrigerator and the milk in the place where in the pantry where the trash bags go? We can laugh about it. But laughing at someone's deficit or something, that's adolescent, because we haven't been taught that that's not appropriate, and you're doing it in middle age. So when we're unfriending people, we've exacerbated ourselves to the point where it's like, look at the stuff that you're posting. like some people post things because they're lonely and they're thirst trapping, or women, provocative photos, men with no shirts on, showing their muscles. That's fine. We're not dumb. You're doing it for a reason. But when you're trying to assassinate someone's character for lack of knowledge, for their knowledge, and obviously yours, then you're putting yourself in a category of people that has purposeful negative energy. You want to pull in the negative comments, the criticism, the ridicule. And it's like, we've now, yes, this is why people get quote unquote unfriended or whatever, because it's like that energy, I don't want to deal with that anymore. Yeah. Now, it's hard to say to a person, yo, you posted this adolescent, critical, ignorant meme. Let's talk about why you posted it. Because to you, it's just slap me funny, move on. But what it really is displaying is a lack of control for your ability. Like you don't want to verbally criticize. So you're going to use something else to do it and be like, yeah, I feel this way, but it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that was, for me, that was obviously the proverbial straw, but that wasn't the first time,
of course,
that I've challenged any one of her memes or any one of her posts. And
well, Jared,
I guess
I
just got done dealing with it. I'm like, I don't want to continue seeing this.
You hear it all the time. People like, I unfriended them because of the childish things that they posted, or the ignorant things, or things that I don't agree with. I know people have unfriended me because they're tired of hearing the political and racial perspective. They don't want to be so serious. Facebook should be lighthearted. It shouldn't be. And I look at it like, look, if you don't know, here's some information. And it makes you think, okay, so now you got knowledge. Now, what do you do with this knowledge that you're acquiring when you see these things about, political injustice, criminal injustice, racial injustice? What do you do with them? Then find a vehicle in which you feel comfortable. Book club, start reading books with people in your community that you're like, hey. And it's like, when I don't want to be serious all the time. It's not that it's serious. It's enlightening. It's, how does this play in my life? How really, if I live in the middle of nowhere and I'm surrounded by people that don't look anything other than myself, I mean, being in an all Black community, I have a responsibility to being in an all Black community to, like, going to college is beneficial. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many undercurrent. There's so much undercurrent. There's so much information out there that people are like, I don't know how to talk about it. The only way to talk about it is to talk about it.
Exactly.
Talk about it.
Exactly.
And create a platform. I don't want my life to be that serious. I don't feel as though I have to do that. Okay.
Or better yet, I want to just keep things positive.
There is positivity.
I've heard that one before. I just want to keep things positive. I don't want to have to. I don't want to have to learn that. I don't want to have to read that. Whatever. So.
And it's
I've
like,
heard
no,
that. I'm not kidding.
Jared, that's the nail I'm trying to hit. I swear to you. It's like, I've heard that so many times. I feel like what you're doing is negative, and it's invoking negative feelings, because inside it's like, wow, that hurts. I don't want to live with that all the time. And what you're saying, and you're like, but I'm not Black, I'm not Asian, I'm not Hispanic, I'm not, this, that, or the other. So why should I care? But you have been a person in one form or another that has been slighted. You have been a person in one form or another that has seen an injustice happen to you, and you don't feel vindicated. Well, then how do you then become a part of a movement? You surround yourself with people that want to be enlightened. But if you don't, I'm not going to criticize you. Again, I mean, it's
empathy.
Yes.
For me, it's empathy. I mean, I may not have been able to go. I've not gone through what you've gone through, what your kids have or will go through. I'm sorry.
No, you're not saying anything wrong, Jared. The thing is,
or what your ex-husband has gone through, or anybody else that has your skin complexion.
Yes.
I'm never going to go through that. But what I can do is learn perspective, hear your story, and try to envision going through that for me to be able to empathize that. And that's the least I can do. And then when I can do that, then I can truly be there for you. I can truly be a friend. I can truly be your brother.
Yes.
And for me, it's a lens of humanitarianism. Because once I'm able to do that, now I can see through the BS. I can see through the walls. I can see through the systemic shit that has been put up through all these years. And the bubble's been burst.
Yeah. And see how it transcends.
As a human, you know what I'm saying? Versus.
And ditto, as a Black
for
person,
other people that we have talked to who don't share my beliefs.
As a Black person, I've always looked at you like a brother, but I mean, like, no, for real, because
no, I hear you.
To hear the growth that you're saying, at one point in my life, I felt this way, I've experienced this, and now and not just saying, I get it, I understand, but you're talking about the intricacies and the small, minute, like, that are major, just how, people not being able to be outside after dark. Why? Mm-hmm. And then I'm not going to support a community that says, that this is okay. I mean, just you see the discourse and how the system can be corrupted for people other than.
Yeah.
And these
words, that reminds me, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, to that point, that I started watching this show on Netflix. For those that don't, All American. Great shows. For a lot of my students recommended it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to get into this. And so I started it yesterday, got it 3 episodes in. And so the premise of the show is a star high school football player from Crenshaw in LA.
Yeah, okay. That's in Los Angeles.
That's what I thought. Gets recruited by a Black football coach from Beverly Hills, who's coaching Beverly Hills football coach. Well, that was a little redundant. You get my point. And somehow the story develops that there starts to be a familiar relationship. But so this young man, because of the rules and regulations in place, ends up moving in with the coach and his family, whose son, the coach's son is actually the quarterback, the star quarterback for the team. And so this young man is spectacular wide receiver who's now tasked to play safety. And so there's a lot of conflict there. But point is, one of the last episodes I watched, these 2 young men, I mean, they're in the guy from Beverly Hills, the quarterback, goes to his neighborhood in Crenshaw for to meet up with him. He wanted to meet he wanted to get together with the transfer student. Meets the family. Family takes him in. Mom's like, "Oh, you're coming to the barbecue tonight. You're coming out to the cookout tonight." And so this guy from Beverly Hills, who happens to be a mix because the coach married a white woman, and so that comes important later.
Well, don't tell everything now, Jared. I want to see it.
No. I'm just telling this one story. My point being, they eventually get arrested. They eventually get pulled over in Crenshaw by a couple of white cops. The quarterback is driving a Mustang convertible, nice car. I'm like, what are you doing here? What's going on? Why are you here in this, at this time of night, that type of thing? And the kid speaks up for himself. Whereas the other guy's got his hands out on the dash.
Already.
Keeping his eyes shut. So, shut up. And the guy just doesn't understand. And so the transfer student talks to after they get bailed out of jail, by the way. And the face of the quarterbacks, and just the expression he had no clue. No clue. And So the transfer student eventually talks to the dad or the coach and says, why haven't you talked to him? Why haven't you told him how to act when police are involved? Why haven't you had that talk with him?
You said that.
Keep your hands visible. Don't, speak slow. Keep your eyes forward. These types of things. Why didn't you have that? And so that's a world I will never know.
Yeah.
That's a world my children will never know.
And it's funny you say this, and I honestly am like, that's like I learned how to use a fork. Like, how old were you when you learned how to use a fork? It's different than a spoon. Real shit. So exactly.
Probably right about the time I started eating rabbit stew.
Or
rabbit meat, grilled rabbit meat with Greek peas or something. I don't know.
I'm just, so my point is,
right.
It's been in all my existence. So it's not a big like, oh, wow, didn't know. No. Like, and that's not just for Black boys. That's for Black people, minorities in general.
Mm-hmm.
The way you have to keep and the cops look at it like it's a form of respect. But when you're being disrespectful to me and I still have to respect you, because you've had so much of the playground to yourself that, it just is what it is. I mean, and this all sparks off of social media. Like, we're talking about social media and how to, continue to use it as a fun, positive platform, but realize it's also a vehicle of education. And you also have to realize people like myself and Jared are utilizing it when we do post what would be controversial things or things that may depress you inside after you watch them because you don't know what to do with the information, is actually an outlet to say, hey, let's spark conversation because I don't know what to do with this energy that you're putting out. You're usually very positive, uplifting, happy people. You're putting out this information that makes me feel indifferent about my culture, myself, my American culture, my identity. So it's like, okay, well then let's talk about it. I don't want you to lose your identity. I just want you to enhance it. And then, and then I'm also looking for things to post so that you know what to do besides starting book clubs or, like I said, I'm not one to sit here and be like, I know for a fact there's white people that won't, there's all kinds of people that won't go into certain neighborhoods, certain sections of the community. And that's fine. And I know Black people that do happen to live in all white communities. They're like, yo, don't ask me no questions. But I think at the same time, yes, if you happen to be a minority and a white person legitimately, whether they're doing it to be facetious or funny, and they're asking a real question about what it is to be Black or have you ever experienced this, I implore all minorities to step up and say, yes, I have. Because then it won't just be a 1 or 2 person situation. And then once you explain it to them, also explain, this is how I overcome it and not walk around with anger, hatred, and bitterness in my heart. Because I don't. One, I speak very candidly when I speak to anyone. And I don't try to make them feel uncomfortable. I just let them know, like, this is just how I feel and I'm not very comfortable with it. People know when I'm not happy with them, period. I make it very, very, very obvious. But with that being said, we all have a responsibility, and we are a village. If we want to turn into a village, then we have to. And I do implore Black people to, look, we all have to grow up, Jared. We all got to grow up. So, and this pours into, again, a conversation about anti-vaxxers. Jared, do you have yours? I was trying to show mine earlier.
I did see I see it now. Yeah, that's a lot clearer. Yeah. Okay.
And everybody's like, Monet, why is yours so low? Because I was a fighter as a kid. Real shit, you could not give me needles. I literally almost had to be put down. So I distinctly remember getting this particular one because I was doing this with my arm because they were trying to get me up here. And so the nurse got so tired that they pushed it against me and got me right here because I couldn't move anymore. My mom was holding me, had her legs wrapped around mine. We was wrestling.
And this was a scar from what?
From the everybody.
No, for those that don't know, because no.
This is a TB vaccination.
We got listeners that aren't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm putting my elbow as opposed to my deltoid, my shoulder, in the camera because that's where I got my TB vaccination.
TB vax.
I believe for those that are 38 or maybe 40 and older, we have it. Everybody under you guys, under us, you don't have it. You know why? Because we were vaccinated. You don't have to get this. You don't have to get this marking because we are vaccinated.
Aren't there a lot of other diseases that were eradicated because of vaccines?
Yeah.
Tell us, nurse.
Mumps, measles, rubella.
There
These
you
are
go.
childhood diseases that were killing people. Yeah, smallpox. Or is this my small? I have to, you know what? That's a damn shame. I don't even really know which one it is.
Well, in fairness, looks like there are two scars.
No, well, one is from an oven burn because I'm just.
Okay. Well,
yeah, we're keeping it real.
Yeah.
I believe this is my smallpox.
Lawnmower burn.
Oh my God.
No, I'm sorry, weed eater
lawnmower.
burn.
Weed eater. Got it.
Weed eater. Put my arm, it's a gas operated one, put my arm right there by the chance, and like, oh shit. Just for a second, like, it melted onto the thing. Like the cage it's a bad day.
No. Damn.
Not as bad as scalping myself, I will say that though.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That's fun, Jared. I love it. I'm in for it. I'm here for the shits. I'm here for the shenanigans. Okay, Jared and lawn work. Keep them coming.
Yeah.
And stay
enjoyed
alive.
every bit of it though.
I bet you did. What
had a great time.
These stitches I got in my head. I was like, please.
Yeah, I got 5 stitches in my head. Yeah, that was fun. Still.
Oh God.
I think finally I'm sure this is going to be, I know this is too much information, but it's still funny to me. It was like 3 or 4 nights ago that I finally took off the last bit of scab off that.
Ooh.
And I got my stitches on July 23rd. So it's taking quite a bit of time to heal, yeah.
When it came
so anyway,
out.
I was proud of that. I was like, yay, I can finally get a haircut.
All right, no, Jad, it's not. See, that's the funny shit. Us being human, that's funny.
And that all stemmed from you trying to, you explaining your vax scar from either TB or
I believe
smallpox.
It's smallpox. It's not TB. It's smallpox.
Right.
It's a smallpox. This is the small, and when they got it, they just started. They eradicated it, I believe, within 8 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I believe there's some isolated spots in the world where they're still experiencing it's a smallpox. I have to change that. It's a smallpox vaccination.
Okay.
And it was a pandemic, but we squashed it. So I mean, I'm just saying, people, this is something. No, we don't know. You know, I have a 24-year-old coworker that's like, Monet, this vaccination that I got may make me sterile. I may not be able to have kids, but at least I'll be alive to know it. That's exactly what she said.
Wow.
As opposed to playing Russian roulette and saying, you know what, I think we made it this far. What's the problem? You can sit here and think it's a government conspiracy to control you. If you don't know we're being controlled any fucking way in one form or another, you're putting too much, you're investing too much in what you think you have control over because you don't really have control over nothing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, check your cell phones, guys.
Except your own emotional, right? Except for your own emotional outbursts, how you choose to, that's the only real control we have. And so when I'm saying like, well, the question would be, I wonder if you never got COVID and you never had to get that monoclonal antibodies, would you still feel the same way about getting vaccinated? I got COVID because I was not vaccinated and I got it in May. So that's proof. I was not one of the people that wanted to get vaccinated, but I distinctly remember how the disease progresses through the lungs and how I started feeling the tightness on my right side and how I looked at my oxygen saturation and it was going down. It was not going up. Right. And I do have diabetes and I do have hypertension. Well, I have, it's now I'm back to pre-diabetes because I've really eliminated a lot of sugar and carbs. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. And being more physical.
Good thing. Yeah, there you go.
But with that being said, I say this to say, I think I had to go through it, and people that have been paying attention to the podcast, they know how spiritual I am, how much I love and respect and believe in God. That's my choice. You don't have to.
Right.
I feel like I had to experience it just to tell people, please get the vaccination.
Yeah.
Not for anything, but to at least try to protect yourself. Try. Are you 100%? No. And we can go on the laundry list from seatbelts to other vaccinations to, this and that, not eating this and still getting that, at least we're trying.
Right.
My mom's most famous line to this day is nothing. And it took me until I was in my mid-30s to understand it. I kept saying it, didn't know what I was talking about, but nothing beats a failure but a try. You can sit on your ass and fail, but you failed. You can try your ass off and fail, but you did something. You tried.
Right. There you go.
Tried. And guess what? At the end of the day, that's all that fucking matters. Really. Oof. Then you have no baggage. Then you have no would-haves, could-haves, should-haves, maybe it would have.
Exactly.
And the people that are currently dying now that are young, the people that are dying are laying there with a machine breathing for them saying, I could have. Even if their fate would have been the same, at least they tried, then they can die knowing I tried. I tried to prevent it. I'm alive right now knowing that I'm vaccinated so that others won't get it. And let's try to do that.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, tying this back to social media, because we haven't hit this yet.
Yep.
We did, but you didn't really
go home,
say what was posted. About you had started the conversation about a post that you took down, and that I kind of clapped back at you about it, but didn't really talk about what it was other than just maybe being anti-vax, because it presented a fairly good argument.
It was
like
encouraging people to choice.
Right.
Choose.
Right.
And I thought she was talking about choose vaccination, not having your rights being infringed upon.
Yeah. So the post, because I find this very interesting, and it really kind of, I think this, I just want to be more specific with it. She's like, even though you did this, I still chose to do this. I chose to hold your baby, even though you chose to have an abortion, an adoption. I chose to hold your hand when you chose to have an abortion. I chose to care for the drunk driver who just got into an accident because that's what I, whatever. And then, all these other people made the choices and I still had to do this. So now you're telling me that I can't make a choice. You're taking my choice away.
And it's sad because,
no,
as a healthcare worker, as a healthcare worker, you're sitting here and you're giving out medication you don't know is beneficial to the patient or not. You're following doctor's orders. You're telling them, because you don't have a choice in that. You have an education, an obligation, and a responsibility.
That was the other point that she said. You're going to tell me after all that I don't get a choice. I have the education and the expertise to make up my own mind, but you're telling me I can't make a choice. And that blows my mind.
So what essentially she's saying is, you can't mandate and make nurses. We had that argument a million years ago about their hospitals making everybody get the flu shot. But the flu isn't as deadly. It's deadly, but it's not as deadly as this virus has become.
You are the first person that I've heard ever say that.
Really?
Seriously.
Because it's true.
It is true. My question to that person would be, if you're, even after all your education and expertise and experience, you still choose not to get a life-saving vaccine, what good was that education and experience?
You're letting your ignorance, because I didn't know, I personally didn't know how beneficial this antiviral medication was until I was in the pot. So I felt it and related it back to images of my first patient when she started feeling it. And I saw the ground glass infiltrates on her x-rays of the virus on her right lower lobe. then the next day when she was intubated in the ICU, the virus now not only totally on her right side, but like infringing and gravitating towards the left side, less than 18 hours after I her last X-ray. And I felt it. And I had the computer on my wrist that was constantly reading my pulse and my oxygen saturation in my blood to tell me, this iPhone thing, tell me what my oxygenation was in my lungs. And it was decreasing. And I'm usually at 99, 98, 100%. And it's at 92. And I didn't do anything different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and now my lasting effects of COVID, I get dehydrated quite easily. And when I'm tachycardic, it's not a simple, like a gradual couple of days or whatever of a healthy person. It's like, oh, I think you're slightly dehydrated. No, it happens within 20 hours. So I have to be adequately hydrated at all times.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Thank you, COVID. But ironically,
and for those that were thinking, well, Jared, what about this? You're angry at this nurse, or you're talking out about this nurse and whatever. But Monet, she didn't get the vaccine until after she got it. Well, here's the difference. Monet wasn't out there advocating against vaccinations.
No. Our recordings prove it. Jared got it. We celebrated. We said yes, yay. Never talked about mine. We talked about my issues behind closed doors. We talked about how I was so adamant about it. Just science doesn't support it. But then I realized we didn't have as much social media. We didn't have as much internet interactions back in the 70s, 80s, and even 90s, early 90s. And when I got my smallpox vaccination, it was just like, do it because it's saving lives. We didn't have to. That's what the doctor said. That's what research said. We believed it. We saw what smallpox was doing.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the last of the Mohicans. Our generation is the last Mohicans with proof of how to eradicate a virus.
Well, I'm hoping that after Pfizer being FDA approved, last week, and then Moderna today. That was today.
They got FDA approved.
I saw the headline earlier this afternoon. Yeah.
I got Moderna.
I can't remember which one I got. I've got my card in the car.
Just in case you need it.
Yeah. I knew that I was like, should I keep this? Yeah, I better keep this.
I don't,
because we weren't under advisement to keep it. Just like, here's your card. I'm like, okay, great.
But they say don't laminate it. But here's the deal. Here's the reality. The truth is, I don't look down on people that don't get vaccinated. I understand. I understand. And yes, there's a lot of minorities coming out of the woodworks like, no. And there's a lot of Midwesterners and, Yankee, all Americans of all colors.
I'm going to be honest. I understand a certain percentage of people being hesitant about it, and rightfully so. There's also a good percentage of people that are like, you really have no excuse except for your fucking ignorance.
Well, look, I'm telling you, when they instilled the antibodies in me. I had to sit there for an hour for the installation, an hour for observation. 30 minutes after I got it, I took my first deep breath, not like trying to test it out. I was just able to take a deep breath.
Nice. Wow. I know how that feels.
Yes.
I truly know how that feels.
And
but for totally different reasons.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm a lifelong
asthmatic.
Those are thinking of me. Yeah.
Jared's an asthmatic.
I've been through some shit, yo. I'm just
So I mean, like, yes, we've talked about it during the quarantine and when we were doing these recordings. It's very fearful for Jared. I don't know how many times he was just like, I don't know if this is an asthma attack or I could quite possibly have COVID. I just don't feel good. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Lungs feeling like I've got an elephant sitting on them.
Yeah, not good. Not good. Yeah. And I just felt like something was squeezing mine from the bottom up.
And I totally understand that.
And
I know how that feels.
That shouldn't be feeling like that. And people are like, no, it's been proven. It's true. It's proven. The monoclonal has been shown to do a lot of reversal, positive results. I felt it.
Good. That's awesome.
So
that speaks to the treatment.
Yes. So I had no choice but to say I have to get vaccinated. I have to get the vaccine. And for those, my loved ones, I encourage them to do the same.
Me too. But I also know who's just still going to say, nope, not going to do it.
And that's fine.
God is covering me. He's got me.
And that's fine. But he also gave us divine, and I'm not going into that.
Yeah, he's also the one that created the doctors that treat your kids, and the nurses that help with the boo-boos at school and stuff like that. And you listen to them, but whatever. We just
I mean, I've had people. I'm in the middle of my spiel, and I've had people just shut me off. Like, nope. I don't want to hear it. I don't care what it did for you, but it could kill me. And I'm like, okay.
Well, then
and I already had COVID, and it's been proof people are getting it again. And what lasting effects are you going to have?
Yeah.
Just from having the virus.
And I was having a conversation. With my one of my parents. For those that are listening, I'm not going to name which one, but they were telling me that they're just at a point like, you know what? Fine. If that's the way you believe, when you get the flu, don't come to the hospital.
Well, that's what we feel.
When you get into the car accident, car accident, don't come into the ER.
If you don't have,
if you got the sniffles or whatever else, and you feel like you don't come see your doctor.
Yeah.
Because clearly you don't trust the medical field to do what they're doing. It's supposed to be doing, then you don't need to visit with them.
I'm tired of hearing nurse. So, I'm never tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm never tired of hearing that.
Right. No, yeah.
But with that being said, I'm always gonna take care of my patients as if no judgment.
Yeah.
Okay?
And so will this person,
judgment.
but they're just at it.
But inside, you're just like, damn, you could just do something about it and just move on. Like, why the fuck are you putting me in this situation?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah, I can only imagine pulmonologists.
No, I'm telling you, everybody's fucking tired. Yo,
those guys that do the pulmonology test. Here, let me test your lungs. Are you gonna get the vaccine? No, hell no. You need to go because clearly you don't care about your lungs. You're good. Bye.
You're good. Go ahead. Jared, real shit. I'm like, yo, putting all that shit on just to take your fucking temperature, just to come and make sure you're okay.
A few questions.
And ask you, and all you have to do is get a shot in the arm and take some take some Tylenol for pain, discomfort.
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly. I can't handle that level of idiocy. I just don't have the patience for it. So I may not come at you hard, but I'll come at you passive aggressively, and I will let my point be known.
Jared, real shit. In the motherfucking ED, these motherfuckers, I'm seeing more and more go upstairs. Whereas before people were getting treated and sent home.
Wow.
These motherfuckers is going upstairs now again. Not a lot. But I mean, like, what do we want? Do we want a lot?
Yeah.
No, I sure as the fuck don't.
Right.
Oh God.
So get your damn shot.
Please. All right, my love.
2 vaccines that are FDA approved. Anyway,
let's move on. With that being said, so
that is our time.
Yeah. And this was just a part of just a genuine conversation without too much of an agenda to push down your throats, with the exception of getting vaccinated and not taking social media so fucking serious, or learn something about that and talk to people that appear to just talk to people, try, and then you make your judgments after that.
Absolutely.
But
next week we might get into lawnmower parents.
That was definitely something we want to talk about.
But that's all right. We don't have the time for that. That's a whole nother conversation.
No, it is.
So with that being said,
next Monday.
Hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. Whichever platform you're on, hit like, subscribe, follow us on whatever social media platform you've got. Love to have your input, be part of the conversation. So leave a comment wherever you subscribe or follow us, whatever. worst case scenario, email us at tntwithmj@gmail.com. That's tntwithmj@gmail.com. And that being said, my sister, final word.
My final words are, don't forget to love each other. Be patient. We're trying to be patient. I'm definitely going to be patient with you. Jared's going to be patient with you. And we're hoping that the world can be patient with each other. With that being said, I love you. Goodbye.